Well, I got some 762 by 54R Russian brass, and I wanted to use this trimmer. These trimmers work really good. I haven't tried one of the other more speedier trimmers like the world's greatest trimmer or a couple of the other ones, but this one here seems to work really well for the cost. And it usually comes with, it's usually done with hand pieces. This can go in your drill. This has this. What it is, they have pilots that actually fit in here. And with those pilots, they look like this. And then what it does is this goes into the drill or the in my case the drill press. This actually goes down into the hole. It's hard to do this with one hand. Ah, the magic of camera work. There, I got it in. So what it is, and then it tightens up in there, and then in my case I have it in this little drill here, chucked up, and then this will go ahead and spin. And then all I do, once that's chucked up, I grab the other little piece, and this unscrews, and your regular case holders will actually fit in here. Just your standard case holders that'll fit in your presses. And then so you grab the appropriate one for the brass that you're working with, along with the appropriate pilot. They sell these pilots individually. If you go to Lyman's website, they have a ton of these. And then you tighten this down, and then it locks it in. And then all you have to do while this is on is actually slide this up on here, and then it goes through the little hole, the flash hole in the bottom, and then this part here actually hits the base, and then the top will cut until, well, I mean, this doesn't touch the base until the top has cut to the proper length. So these are actually preset. This is a different pilot to what this one uses, but that's where I'm getting at with this video. Lyman does not make a pilot for the 54R. They make one for the 762 by 39. They make one for, of course, all the other standard stuff. So what to do? I went ahead and I went to the Sammy website for the Sammy specs of the cartridges, and I looked up the different specs for what I would think would be close enough, and 303 Brit was very close. So I ordered a 303 British hand trimmer pilot, which came in here, and I've noticed that it fits in here perfectly except for a couple measurements. It was it went in fine with the neck, but it was a little snug. And then it's really hard to do this with one hand. And I noticed that it was a little bit long. There we go. So what I did is I measured it, and I looked how far. When I stuck it in here previously, the lip was up just a little bit. It was a little bit high, and what it needs to be is flush. Because when it's flush with the top of this here, that's when it meets these cutters. I went ahead and got the carbide. This will focus. Yeah, I guess. Hold on one second. I'll be able to get this out of here. There we go. As you can see, the carbide is the way to go, because I found that my steel one that it normally comes with, it got kind of dull, and it makes it a lot harder to deburr, which you'll still have to, after trimming it with this, you have to inside deburr and outside deburr, or chamfer and deburr. So anyway, once that's done, I took the tool out, I chucked it up in the drill press, and I took a little bit off the top of here. I went down just a little bit. Normally this has like a 45-degree angle right here. So I went ahead and I just made this little post longer so this would fit down into the brass farther, which now it fits flush. So I wanted to start this video so this might help somebody else, because I know I'm not the only person that's wants to reload 54R. The Mosin Nagant that I have, I was able to get, I believe it was 3/4 inch groups at 75 yards with hand loads. But anyway, now I'm running into the situation where this little pin is going too far through the bottom of the case. So what I need to do now is just trim that till it's flush, or just maybe a hair through it, or you know, so you can see it just by a sliver. So that's what I'm going to do now. I just mark this off of where this comes through, where I want to cut it, and then I'm going to chuck it into the drill press, and then I'll show you how I'm going to cut it. All right, the first little cutter that I used to actually make that little post at the bottom of the pilot a little bit longer was this little deal here. It's a little stone, and this is your typical out of a Dremel kit. And then once I got once I unchucked it and tried it out on the brass and found it was very close, then I went ahead and I just used this up in like just the corner to kind of smooth it out. And then I used a couple different, 3 different sizes of sandpaper. I used 400, 600, and 1200 to smooth it out. I have it chucked back up in the drill press, and what I'm going to do is use this regular little cutoff wheel with for the Dremel, and then I'm just going to go in here and cut that right off, and then I'll smooth it out with the 400, the 600, and the 1200. Before I use the sandpaper, I'm going to double check it with a piece of brass. This brass is cut to the correct trim by length, and I will notate that. Well, you know, depending on your brass, it'll be different, but I double checked it and triple checked it, so it'll be correct for that. But make sure your brass that you're using to do all of this work is a cut to length, exact length that you would like the cut to be. And there it is. So you can see it's down to 2.1065. And then for our measurements for the 7.62 by 54R Russian is there it is, trim to length 2.105 inches. So we are good to go. Only thing else that I have done with this is this ledge right here. This actually goes into the neck of the case. I hit it with the same 400, 600, and then 1200. And what it did is it just took a hair off, because the 303 Brit is roughly the same diameter bullet it uses as the 7.62 by 54R. Hope this helps somebody. Like I said, I've emailed Lyman to see if they could make one for a 7.62 by 54R. Like I said, they have the other one for the AK round, or the SKS, so hopefully they'll get one for us reloaders of the 7.62 by 54R, so jobs like this aren't so difficult. Alrighty, thank you very much.